Finish him. Johnny Cage, win fatality.
In 1994, the debate over violent video games erupted all the way to the United States Senate. Games like Doom, Lethal Enforcers, Night Trap, and Mortal Kombat, which depicted scenes of digitized violence, outraged parents and senators alike, earning video games a negative reputation. After the tragedy that took place at Columbine High School in April 1999, the makers of Doom, id Software, and 24 other entertainment companies were sued by the families of the victims in a lawsuit naming violent games as a cause for the massacre. Scholarly research on the effects of violent video games on gamers has been inconclusive, with some studies showing a link between violent games and heightened aggression, other studies calling previous research methods into question and finding no link between violent video games and aggression, and yet even other studies that showed reduced aggression. With the violent game debate still being too young for research to produce any concrete evidence, many parents and senators still look at video games in a negative light. Despite the negative stigma attached, video games teach moral lessons, promote creativity, inspire healthy pursuits, and provide money-making opportunities for gamers. Video games have the ability to teach moral life lessons. While there are some games like Sony's God of War series, which features a protagonist with what some would call a repulsive lack of moral conscience, many other popular game franchises, like The Legend of Zelda, place players into the shoes of a chivalrous protagonist on a quest to stop an absolute evil from taking over the land of Hyrule. Zelda presents the struggle of good versus evil, light versus darkness, and leaves no room for gray area in its storyline. Final Fantasy, likewise, in its many iterations, also pulls players into a storyline of a whole party of protagonists who band together to fight an absolute evil, in quests that usually also have a heavy emphasis on the value of friendship, loyalty, redemption, standing up to fight injustice, and even sacrificing oneself to save the lives of others. The advent of cooperative campaigns in games like Halo teach the importance of working as a team to achieve common goals. Players can play split screen with friends, and some games even have the option of playing cooperative campaigns online with other players from across the world. Games like Battlefield and especially Team Fortress, as well as many massively multiplayer online role-playing games, require heavy amounts of teamwork in their competitive modes. Learning to work as a team has many real-world applications, as most jobs require working in groups to achieve common work goals. And gaming can cultivate an environment where you learn how to work as a team with all kinds of different personalities, and even with other people who may not even speak the same language. This goes against the stereotype that gamers are lonely introverts who lack social skills and struggle working in a group environment. Many more examples can be cited here which go against the belief that games have no moral or life value to those who play them. Not only can gamers learn moral lessons from video games, games also promote creativity. On June 22, 1996, id Software, the developers of Doom, released Quake on the PC, and included the source code on the disk itself, opening up the door for user modifications. PC gamers who had a knowledge of the Visual C++ programming language could create custom levels, custom weapons, and even take the 3D physics engine in Quake to create what is known as a total conversion mod, creating an entirely new game from Quake's graphics engine. Since Quake released, all the major PC game developers have followed suit, and some developers like Valve have even bought the rights to popular user-created mods, like Counter-Strike, which was a Half-Life Total Conversion modification, and Team Fortress, which started as a Quake mod, but was later updated as a Half-Life modification. On the home console front, level editors, which allow gamers to create new single and multiplayer levels out of developer-designed tiles in games like Time Splitters and Little Big Planet, have seen a rise in popularity. While not as open-ended as modifications, where gamers can design anything they choose, users are still creatively challenged to design working single and multiplayer levels. Now, with network-enabled console systems, gamers can even share their creations with a community of other level creators, as well as download other user-created levels. There are many more examples of ways video games promote creativity as well, such as music creation, artwork, fan fiction, and many more that show that gaming can promote creativity. Not only can games promote creativity and spark the artistic sides of those who play them, but gaming can also be a positive influence that leads to healthy activities. In 1999, Activision released Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, following Tony's historical landing of a 900-degree mid-air spin at the Summer X Games of that year. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater brought about the immense popularity of the extreme sports gaming genre and influenced many gamers to learn how to skateboard for the first time. It also influenced those who knew how to skateboard to practice even harder. Skateboarding has come to be seen as a legitimate sport, and like other sports provides exercise for those who partake in it. In 1997, Sony released Parappa the Rappa on the original PlayStation console, creating the rhythm and beat / music game genre, spawning the creation of many games like Dance Dance Revolution, Samba de Amigo, and the modern Guitar Hero and Rock Band series. Like the Tony Hawk series, Guitar Hero and Rock Band, both of which come with guitar and drum controllers to simulate playing music, have also influenced many gamers to learn how to play musical instruments, and influenced those who already played to practice even more. Learning how to play an instrument can spark a lifelong passion for music. There are also other examples that could be used, like how Dance Dance Revolution and Wii Fit promote exercise, and how games like Call of Duty have inspired many gamers to join the military. However, there is more evidence to show video games having a positive influence over the belief that they only influence violent behavior. Recently, the money-making opportunities for gamers with a passion for gaming has expanded immensely. In 1996, a bunch of Quake fans got together at a hotel near id Software's offices in Dallas, Texas, to play together in competitive Quake matches. The event would soon become known as QuakeCon and would evolve into the largest competitive gaming tournament with real cash prizes, and it helped create the term professional gamer, as in someone who makes their living off of playing games competitively. QuakeCon was not the first ever held tournament of its type, but as online gaming has become a mainstay in console games as well, there are now entire leagues created for professional gamers, such as Major League Gaming. For non-competitive gamers, there's always blogs and startup websites, but the most popular way to make money off of gaming is to make gaming-based YouTube videos, and then partnering with companies like Machinima, TGN, and Fullscreen who pay gamers by sharing advertising revenue from their videos. Gamers can now spend their time making reviews, commentary, gaming rants, showing off their talents by making things like cartoons and comedy skits, and etc. that were inspired by games and gaming culture. Some YouTubers, like the Angry Video Game Nerd, have become famous and have been made wealthy from posting videos about video games on YouTube and other websites, essentially starting their own businesses as a result. This goes against the idea that gaming hinders children from obtaining jobs, and it doesn't take into account eBay selling opportunities and how mod making has even led to real game development jobs in the industry, as well as indie game development. September will mark 22 years of the debate about violence in video games. Even after the formation of the Entertainment Software Ratings Board, ESRB, to rate the content in video games to inform parents, the debate is still as heated today as when it first started. There is a new generation of parents who grew up playing video games who are knowledgeable about which games they will and will not let their children play. They know the positives and the negatives. However, many parents still are not aware that gaming can teach life lessons, allow their children to express creativity, lead to positive activities, and even become a job. For those parents who are still concerned that video games will influence violence in their children, it is strongly suggested for them to carefully read the ESRB ratings on the games they buy, and to monitor what their children are playing. Parents should do this anyway. Sit down with your kids, watch them play, maybe learn how to play the game yourself. Parent-child bonding time? Made easy.